Oakland mayor, apparently she just recently did an interview so she can speak to the issues that is happening as far as the raid out here in these streets. Aaron McBride, I'm definitely going to be reading that super chat shortly. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's look at what the Oakland super mayor had to say.
All right, Mayor, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your taking out the time to talk to us this morning.
Absolutely.
We're going to get to the budget shortfall because there's a lot to talk about with that, and the council is voting on that today. But first, I want to get to some issues that people want to hear about, residents of the city want to hear your thoughts of. And that goes back to the FBI raid, that sudden raid that happened at your home early one morning. You denied any wrongdoing in your speech last week after the FBI raided your home. Have you met with the FBI since the raid?
You know, I can't speak on an ongoing investigation, but what I can say is I'm cooperating with the FBI 100%. And not just that, I am not the target. More so than that, you know, if I find any information that I can share, I'm going to be 100% transparent.
How does she know she's not the target?
What we're focused on is running the city, working off of the progress that we've already made in just a short period of time.
How does she know she's not the target?
Can you say if they took anything from your house, or why, if you're not the target, why they chose your house to do?
I wish
she said that she has no information from the people. How does she know she's not the target?
Could say more. I really do. But again, it's an ongoing investigation, so I cannot say further.
Separate from the raid, though, there was some talk, though, of your partner, Andre Jones. Is he involved in any kind of work with your administration at all?
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, he is my partner. He is his own person. And so with that being said, again, this is an ongoing investigation.
So
I hate when women say
former
partner.
Chief of Staff Regina Webb, she came out publicly and said that the FBI questioned her about him. Had you heard that before she had said something about it?
So she was my chief of staff on the city council. And so with that being said, it's an ongoing investigation, and we can't say give out further information.
And that's the mole. That was the mole. That black woman that was there with her when she got elected. That was the mole right there. The mole and the person that probably started this whole thing was the woman that was right by her side the whole time. Yep, that's her. She the one that sent the FBI. She the one that started the investigation. And she the one that got her all jammed up. Her. Black woman that was out here trying to do the right thing. She is the one that got everybody jammed up. Now all of a sudden she was only the chief of staff for the city council, but you fired her all of a sudden, or she was no longer willing to be the chief of staff when you became the mayor because she said, listen, I want to make sure that we do the right thing. You see her? Look, she was advocating for you to become mayor. She right there by your side, on your left-hand side. Now all of a sudden, she was only your chief of staff. Listen, I called Cap, but she is answering the questions, right? Look, right here, look at this. Hey! Because she thought that she was on the up and up. Somehow, some way, it all went left, and then now all of a sudden, y'all not cool no more? That's it. That's the whistleblower. We got to get her. Hey, somebody, all of my people, my moderators, my people that's with me, y'all find out her information. Y'all get it to me. Send it to me in an email, Anton Daniels, 413@gmail.com. And then make sure that y'all get that over here. I'm going to get her on the Millionaire Morning Show. I promise you.
You can't say anything about Andre Jones has nothing to do with your administration at all. You could say that for
sure.
Oh,
absolutely.
All right. And one more question. Do you have any association with the Duong family? Their houses were also raided on the same day that your house was also raided too. What is your association with them? Just in general, apart from anything that might be going on.
So what I can say about that is that you can see that associations or whatever have you that you would consider association is that everybody was actually, you know, we take pictures with everybody. And so you can see that other electeds have taken pictures with them as well. And so, but that's all that I can say. Again, ongoing investigation. And so we are not able to talk about that.
You said during that press conference as well that there are some billionaires that don't live in the city from San Francisco and in Piedmont as well that you...
I agree, Connie. What's the point of giving an interview when you can't even answer due to an ongoing investigation? That's actually the default. Like, that's the thing that you say when you don't want to answer the question.
You said have something against your administration and want you out of office. What can you tell us about that? Because that was the first time I had heard any sort of thing like that. But what do you have to show that that is the case and that you have these billionaires coming after you, so to speak?
Oh, absolutely. At the end of the day, we know that there is a lawsuit right now against the people who are trying to recall me because they're refusing to work with law enforcement to really show who is actually donating money for the recall itself. And so we all should be concerned. We should all be concerned when the Public Ethics Commission has subpoena for this information, which is what they need to do, is show who's donating and how much they're donating, but they're refusing to cooperate. And so that's very concerning. We do know that there are millionaires and billionaires from Piedmont and San Francisco who may be donating to this pact. And that's probably part of the reason why they don't want to actually be transparent about who's donating.
You said there might be some correlation between the recall effort and the raid on your home. Do you believe that to be the case? There's some sort of something behind the scenes that they're working actively against your administration?
I actually didn't say that. I think that those are two very different things, or they could be the same thing. We don't know yet. It's an ongoing investigation.
Gotcha.
Everything is an ongoing investigation.
The recall effort, the city council is going to take that up today, a resolution placing the recall against you on the November ballot. What is your message to the council and to Oaklanders about this?
We've done great work coming into office. Let's recall that right when I got into office 18 months ago, that this recall started. So it is a waste of money, a waste of resources. Right now, we're dealing with a huge deficit in the city of Oakland, where we're looking under couch cushions to see how we can actually deliver services. This is not the democratic way of doing things, and not just that, but it's going to cost city residents millions of dollars that the city does not have.
Should the council set up a date for the recalls, move forward with it if we're still in the process of verifying the signatures and who's donating? Well, the signatures are verified, but the donation part, the ethics part of looking into the recall effort, should we be moving ahead with that if they're still looking into who's donating to the recall effort campaign?
Of course, that's going to be the decision of the city council. That's number one. But you make great points. We don't know who's donating to this pact illegally, right? And we don't know who's behind running the recall efforts in regards to the finance part of it. However, it's going to be on the city council to make that decision. And then number two, again, we all know that this is going to cost the residents in the city of Oakland millions of dollars that we do not have for the services that we need to deliver.
What is your plan to combat this recall effort? This is something else on your plate that you have to deal with.
Yep.
It's not going to be easy. It's going to be expensive. What is your plan of attack on this?
Is to do what we've been doing, is making sure that we're effective and results driven. What we've seen is that for many, many decades, politicians have come and gone, and in areas that needed investment, like Deep East Oakland with the Coliseum, like West Oakland, where we know that there's a ton of air pollution and inequities, that we've already built out Ramondi Park. We had that for the Oakland Ballers. These are all the successes that we have been able, and they're huge successes, that my administration have been able to deliver for the city of Oakland. And this is how we generate new monies so that we can actually fulfill our duty of serving the city of Oakland and its residents.
Let's talk about the budget here. City Council could vote on that budget today. We're talking about a shortfall of $177 million.
That's
is that correct?
You know what? When it all comes back down to it, it all comes back down to the money. When you say that you having a possible deficit of $177 million as a city, we operating with a surplus over here in Detroit. And they mad about it. They mad about it at every event, draft, fireworks, even Pride. They didn't have no incidents whatsoever. They mad about it. They got a $177 million budget deficit. Deficits in Chicago, deficits in Oakland, deficits over in New York, deficits across the board. That's a lot of money. That's a lot. 177 M, sister. That's a lot of money. Ain't enough couch cushions where you can find change up under in order for you to be able to cover that shortfall.
$63 million in cuts are proposed right now. Is that correct as well?
Well, that's not my proposed budget.
Not your proposal, but the council proposal. So you still have over $100 million that still need to be cut here.
That's a lot.
What is the plan now to attack this budget?
Well, I've already had my mayor's proposed budget out, and it's been out for a few weeks now. And basically, I do believe that the mayor's proposed budget, what we did was we really looked at how do we continue to deliver on the key items. The key item is public safety, first and foremost, right? That's our Department of Violence Prevention. That's our police department, our fire department. And then not just that, but a clean city. We're just talking about the basics here, right?
Shout
a
out to
clean
my
city
girl,
is
our
what we all
streets.
deserve.
Definitely
And so,
gonna address
and
that
then the
shortly.
third part of that tranche is making sure we have economic development. How do we bring in more resources so that we continue to actually build on this, the economic pie that we have here in the city, so we can continue to deliver the services. So with that being said, the mayor's proposed budget, the proposed budget that I put forward, is fiscally responsible, and it also allows for us to deliver those services. However, the county...
She's not saying nothing. She's just repeating herself over and over and over again. Fiscally responsible, deliver services, essential services. Listen, Oakland is on fire. Oakland is on fire. Oakland is on fire. If y'all was to ever eventually elect a decent governor over in California, and because Oakland is going down. Let's just be real. Look, I would not want to be the person that's at the forefront of this administration that's steering this ship right now. And I will say that these problems have been happening in Oakland way before she got there. She's not making it no better. She's not the person for the job, in my opinion. And she's sassy and she's a little bit much. So I don't think that she's the face of what it is. Actually, I think that it is necessary for her to be there because somebody got to go down with the ship. Somebody got to burn this city to the ground, and that's basically what's happening over in Oakland. Oakland is going down, and it's going to be a lot of other cities that go down with it. If at some point California elected a decent governor, Oakland would be a play. Oakland would be a play because when the correction happens, and places like Oakland are going to be at the forefront of the congregation when the correction happens, you're basically going to have a fire sale. At some point, the city is going down so much and it's going to be so derelict that there's going to be a fire sale. It's going to be a fire sale. You don't want to go and invest in a place when it's going well. You want to go and invest in a place, or you want to look for deals and discounts and opportunities for growth when everything starts to go bad. And so Oakland is going down. Absolutely. There is no, sometimes you have to devalue a city so much, and then when the correction happens and a recession hits, it's going to be so much gnashing of the teeth that you're basically getting it for free. They're gonna have to give the city away for free. And when they give it away for free, that's when you come in and swoop up everything. If you eventually have a decent governor that solves for a lot of the basic problems that's happening over in California, and then you basically give the city away for free, business owners come in, they build the city back up, they take advantage of it, they make a lot of money, and then they make it what it is, and they make it what it's supposed to be again. They making America great again. But I don't see it as a play because Oakland is going down. That's really the whole message right here. You can't have a $177 million shortfall, have no police academy to eventually make the city safe, rampant homelessness, criminals taking over everything, businesses running out of the city, and think that you can fix it. It's already done. You got to hit a reset button over in Oakland.
Council's other budget that the council is looking to probably maybe vote on, it doesn't do that. It actually doesn't even have a plan for public safety. It cuts our force, our police force. It cuts the Department of Violence Prevention. It browns out, meaning shuts down fire stations with no plan. And so, running a city like the city of Oakland, you have to ensure that you can deliver services. I mean, coming into office, we saw that crime was on the rise before I even got to the office.
Whoever is in an official position over in Oakland, don't sign up for it. Just because it's going to burn to the ground. It's nothing you can do. You're going down with the city.
And then we were able to bring back the ceasefire program, really hone in on why we were having so much crime, and then honing in on those people who are committing the crime. And what we're seeing is that under my administration, we have a 17% drop in crime rates across the city within the last 3 years, and 30% drop in crime rates within just the last year.
But the budget, though, the budget is made up, I think, a good chunk of it to public safety, to the police department.
That's right.
It's going to suffer from these budget cuts, right? In
Well,
what way?
Well, in that case, it's like there are no, under the mayor's proposed budget, what I'm proposing is that we have no cuts to OPD, the sworn personnel right now. There will be attrition. There will be attrition, meaning like when officers leave the department or when they retire or what have you, that we would not fill in those positions until we get to the 678 number, right? And that's the number of officers that I'm asking for. Under the council's other proposed budget, 610. There is no way that we can say that we are actually focused on public safety if we allow for the council proposal to move forward.
The Police Officers Association, they're having a press conference right now this morning denouncing the cuts. What do you have to say? What is your message to the POA about proposed cuts, about the threat of budget cuts to the department, to police?
Yeah, you know, the budget cuts, it's happening. We're seeing it's happening across all cities in well, at least all large cities across California. And California, the state itself, is going through a lot of deficits and budget cuts. With that being said, all departments across the city have had to cut down on what they're spending on. And so with that being said, what I would say to people is that the mayor's proposed budget is the public safety budget. It is the budget that really puts forward the public safety plan. It brings the number of officers 678, but remember, we also have an opportunity to renew Measure Z, and that is going to be important because the renewal Measure Z creates a minimum threshold of 700 police officers. And so moving from 678 to 700 is a lot easier than what the council may be proposing, which is 610, and I warn everyone that that is going to be very dangerous.
Listen, man, she ain't saying nothing. I know what it is, and I'm telling y'all what's going to happen. It's got to get worse before it get better. Whenever you try to hit a reset button or whenever you try to fix something or you try to fix a city, you don't necessarily fix a city and it just becomes better all of a sudden from marginal investment or marginal improvement. That's not what happens. You got to tear the whole thing down and start over. That's what happened to Detroit. That's the only reason why we in a position, and it took massive influence and massive investment from people like Dan Gilbert. I got to give Dan Gilbert a lot of credit for what he did for Detroit. Dan Gilbert came in, and obviously he's opportunistic too, but he's also a thought leader here in the city. And he basically said, listen, all of these abandoned buildings got to go. We're going to work with the mayor's administration in order to ensure that, we get investment, spur investment. We got to buy up all of these buildings, all of these historical buildings. We're going to restore them. We're going to start building. And the first thing that he did was he moved all of his employees from the suburbs and across the country into the city. And I remember when it happened years ago. It was way before the pandemic. This was in the teens, like 2014, 12, 11. And he basically took the opportunity to spur investment, and he built up a whole thing. And then he inspired other billionaires and other thought leaders in the city, the Illages, and they wind up moving all of the teams down here, and they got rid of all of the abandoned buildings, and then they rebuilt it up and they refurbished everything. You're not getting nothing here now. It's already too late for most people. It's too late. They gave everything away. They building a new bridge over to Canada. On top of the Ambassador Bridge. And now is so much happening and so much construction here that you're not getting nothing. You got to basically start spreading it out. And now you created a core. It spreads out, but they had to reset and they had to start all the way over in order to be able to come up. Real talk. It's going to take some massive investment and some collaboration by people that actually see value in what goes on over inside of Oakland. But shout out to her for giving out that interview that don't necessarily mean nothing or translate into anything.